Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at Rockingham Speedway for race number 34 on the season. We're almost wrapped up with 2018, folks. I can't believe it's gone by this fast. We're getting ready for 150 laps of action here today. 150? 158. 158 laps of action here today. We came here once last year. Michael Amato won that race. That is the last race Amato won. He'll look to maybe try and go back to victory lane here for the first time in 2018 at this racetrack. This was his second of two wins back in 2017. But the focus is on the playoff picture we went through. Texas, Charles Sandfer had the fastest car, won by a good chunk of distance over the second place driver, who I already forgot who that was. I know. Come on, roast. The roast session begins. Anyways, we're coming into the race tonight. Jonathan Zorlin's the top man, the man on top in the Final Four right now. Joining him right now would be Deaver, Gardner, and Seth Cole. 4 points out is Rich, and then these three have a lot of work to do points-wise, or they're going to have to win, and that's DJ Curtis, William Brock, and TJ Hanley. Curtis is 35 back of Seth Cole. Brock is 37 points back, and Hanley is 42 points back. On the pole is that last man in right now. That's Seth Cole, and next to him is the first man out, Andrew Rich. So both these guys coming in knowing that they have got to get going. Seth had some success on the speedways earlier this season. He never won at one. He got his lone win this year at Watkins Glen. So he's looking to get another speedway win. He won at Phoenix last year in the beginning portion of the season. So that's your front row right there. DJ Curtis and Dylan Young starting row 2. So Curtis, we talked about he's got a lot of work to do. He's looking at two guys right in front of him in the points, though it's a lot of points gapped. If he could win, he had a good chance of maybe winning last week at Texas. If he could win this week, it could make things a lot easier next week at Pensacola. Row 3 is Sam Oskin and Michael Amato, the guy we talked about, the guy who won his last race here. One season ago. It's been about 48 races though now. I want to say 46 races, as Rockingham was race 24 on the season last year. So yeah, it's been about 46 races. Row 4 is James Shelley and Peter Sands. Shelley, another guy who hasn't won since 2017, who's won 2 races in that season. And in row 5 is Alex Gray and Tony Green. We'll get to the rest of the starting lineup in a bit. But first, we're going to go trackside for the command, the fire engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Alright, so we're getting ready to go racing here. The rest of the chase drivers starting the following positions. Jonathan Zorlin 13th, Cole Deaver 18th, TJ Hanley 19th, Johnny Gardner 21st, and William Brock will start 41st. So Brock has his work cut out for him again. Top 10 finishing order from last season was Michael Amato, Eric Benson, Dylan Young, Caleb Hoffman, Seth Cole, Alex Gray, James Shelley, William Brock, Adam Rogers, and Andrew Rich. That was your top 10 last season. Curtis finished 23rd, Zorlin 24th, and Gardner 34th. Deaver and Hanley are taking this track on for the first time, and we are green under the lights. The first under the lights race of the playoffs. Seth Cole out to a good lead already. DJ Curtis moves up into that second place position. Andrew Rich falling back on the top. So Seth Cole leading out front here strong so far. Rich trying to get to the bottom, and he finally will get in line behind Alex Gray. Michael Amato, James Shelley riding in front of, or Shelley riding in front of Michael Amato. Those guys are 4th and 5th respectively, as shown on our ticker. And these guys are really taking an interesting approach off of turn 4. They're really keeping their car in the middle of the racetrack off the corner. It's very interesting to see. This is one of the tire eater tracks, the biggest tire eaters of them all. So we'll see what kind of fall off we see here during this race. You see Kev Shearer up to 8th, Alexander Rowe into 9th. It's Caleb Hoffman, defending champion, falling to the back. And there's TJ Hanley up to 10th place, and right behind him is Johnny Gardner, who's already found his way up to 11th. How is the 21 of William Brock performing? All the way into the top 30 already. 3 wide in front of him. That's McIntyre, Osborne, and Eli Bright. Five laps in so far. Clean racing all around. As I believe, yes, Cole Deaver has fallen to the back of this pack. So not what Deaver wanted at all. Especially with Andrew Rich riding up front. But he's made his way back to the bottom. We'll see if the Indianapolis Surfers Paradise Talladega race winner can make his way back towards the front. Deaver is most undoubtedly the standout rookie on the season. There's last week's winner, Charles Sandfer, coming into the picture. It seems the top side here really devastating to get stuck on. Deaver will go 3 wide here on the inside into turn 1. There's a lot of the good view of all the cars going by. So far, green flag racing here at Rockingham. Deaver trying to work his way back up towards the front. William Brock now on the outside, losing some track position. How about TJ Hanley? Sitting in 11th comfortably. Johnny Gardner appears to have made his way by the 47 for 10th. Let's see what's going on up front here. I believe I see the one of James Shelley being passed. Yes, indeed. Seth Cole still the race leader according to our ticker. But Shelley will fall back to 9th place, maybe more if he can't get back to the bottom. Gardner riding his line very well. So Rowe, Shearer, and Rich all move up some positions. I believe Alex Gray did as well, as did Amato, because I believe Shelley was in 4th. So Rich surviving a lot of damage. You know, he started 2nd. You would have thought it would have been endless cars on his inside, but he did a good job getting to the bottom. In fact, Amato, who started in 6th place, got to the bottom faster than Andrew Rich did, as he is already 2 spots ahead of Rich. Battle for 2nd place, maybe for the lead too. Samet Oskin challenging DJ Curtis for the 2nd place position. We talked about how important the top 4 spots are. 50 points to the winner, 47 to 2nd, 45 to 3rd, and 42 to 4th. Down to 40 and 5th, and down a point you go every position. I believe this race maybe had 1 caution last season. I cannot recall entirely. It might have gone green to the end, but I'm not 100 on that. So now Amato's been closing the gap on the top 4. Oskin did not get the best exit of turn 4 right there. And put a little space between him and Curtis. Curtis all over the bumper of Seth Cole. Let's ride around here with the 17 of Curtis. See, looking at the lap times, they've already had a fall off of about a second. See how much they play with the throttle through the corner, right on exit. It really doesn't seem like any of them want to push up out of that middle lane. Seem to kind of just arc it off the corner and they just hold it in the middle. But over a second fall off now. Let's go to the spectator camera. Ooh, Curtis with a mistake there off of 2. That gives Seth Cole some distance. Johnny Gardner has made his way by James Shelley. One of the other three-time race winners on the season is looking for Speedway win number 6. It looks like he wants it tonight and lock up a berth into the round of 4 once more. Ooh, and Kev Shear will make a move on the inside of Andrew Rich off of 4. That's for 6th place. Shear is currently the highest rookie in the field running order. In fact, he's the only one inside the top 10. Now Rich will be stuck on the top, probably going to fall back to 9th place here as Rowe and Gardner make the pass by. Now that statistic about Shear being the only guy in the top 10 could change soon because TJ Hanley is there in 11th. Jonathan Zorlin still sits in 13th. That's where he started. Dylan Young in front of him. Moose Zorlin maybe making a move for 12th place off the corner here. Charles Jackson, Zach Rogers, Matthew McIntyre behind him. That's 14th, 15th, and 16th. Zorlin backs out, though, on his move of Dylan Young. Cole Deaver, 27th place. William Brock back down to 39th. Now the move is on Zorlin. For 13th, that's Jackson making the move. Zach Rogers is on the inside as well. Zorlin trying to ride that high line and get a momentum off the corner here. Looks like he's going to lose more positions. Now Jackson actually leaves the bottom open for Zach Rogers. That's going to allow Rogers to move up to 13th place. Rich back down to 9th. Gardner sits in 8th, so he's looking to make a move on Rowe. Everybody up here is single file, bumper to bumper, just waiting for someone to make a mistake. Helicopter camera gives you a really good idea. You can almost see Seth Cole there at the top of your screen. Shear now on a move on Alex Gray. That's for 5th. Amato's making a move on Oskin for 3rd. And Gray plummets back all the way behind Rowe, now behind Johnny Gardner. Tires are definitely shot. They're over 2 seconds of fall off now. So Gray falls all the way to 8th. And it looks like he will hold on to 8th. And as soon as Michael Amato made the move on Oskin for 3rd, now Oskin dropping like a rock. Shearer up to 4th, Rowe up to 5th. Gardner will move up to 6th. And now Rich fighting for 8th with Alex Gray at the bottom of your screen. And Rich will complete that path. He will move back up to 8th. Oskin will settle in 7th for now. Gardner looking to make a move on Alexander Rowe. Gardner didn't get the title with Ford last season. He's trying to get the title with Ford this season. Their team is moving the Chevy in 2019. Seth Cole has led every lap so far today. Or tonight, I should say. Now another move for third. That's Kev Shearer making the move on Michael Amato. Shearer has come close a couple times this season to that first career victory. What an achievement it would be to have it come here at the Rock. Pitting strategy here is everything. You've got to look at the whole race. If you pit early on the first stop and you commit yourself to being on the first group every pit cycle, you will gain 3, 6, 9 seconds on those guys who decide to stay out extra laps. But though that distance will dissipate over the course of the next run. Ooh, Gardner making a really aggressive move on Rowe there. It doesn't work out for him. Curtis now has a bumper full of Kev Shearer as he is really falling away from Seth Cole. There might be a problem with the 17 of DJ Curtis. It could just be bad tire management. Shearer's going to make the move on the inside. That's for second place as Gardner makes the move on the inside of Rowe for fourth. But it'll definitely be interesting to see how this whole tire strategy works out here tonight. Curtis is over 3 seconds slower now. Gardner has made his way up through the field after starting 21st. Into the top 5 he has made his way. And now he is going to pass Curtis for third. Curtis is just dead in the water right now. These guys are searching for grip from the looks of things. Shearer moves up to second. Seth Cole still leading. Just look at how slow they're going through the corner all the way down to about 115. Still reaching a very good top speed of a 161 into turn 1. Over 3 seconds of fall off now though for our race leaders. But Shearer is flying up to the back of Seth Cole. He must have been saving tires or something. Look at the distance he's gaining. Look at the smooth mid-corner by Kev Shearer. And for the first time in 34 laps, we've got a new race leader. And team owner Johnny Gardner is right behind the 38. Coming into the race tonight, Shearer sits 19th in the point standings. Unknown whether he will return to this team next year. But if he doesn't, he's making a strong bid for someone to sign him up for 2019. He is 19th in points. He's had numerous runner-up finishes. In fact, Shearer's total stats read 5 top 10s, 5 top 5s, and 9 top 10s with 2 poles. Now Gardner on the move for second. Amato's made his way back up the 4th. Oskin has made his way back up the 5th. Rich back up the 6th. Matthew McIntyre has made his way into the top 10. Where did the one of James Shelley go? Are we experiencing pit stops? No, Shelley has plummeted now down to 15th. Hanley still sits 13th. Alves making his way by Gray. That's for 10th. These guys are still staying out. If I remember correctly, I think it was about 40, 42 laps last year for the run. If we're looking at that, we're looking at 3 40 to 42 lap runs and then about a 30 to 34 lap run to end the race. So pitting early might actually be beneficial on the last pit cycle if this race goes green start to finish, which it looks like it will. Now we're seeing the comer and goers as people have destroyed their tires. DJ Curtis was in the top 3. He's down to 8th. Now he's down to 9th. Rowe is about to fall outside the top 10. Austin Alves and McIntyre have made their way into the top 10. Fall off is down to 4 seconds. Gardner trails teammate Kev Shearer for this race win. Or race lead, better yet. The big thing to worry about is this though. If there is a third or fourth group of cars, if they cannot get down pit road before the people that pit in the first group come out, they will probably get run over and we will probably see a yellow, because that is what happened at Charlotte. That's what ended the race at Charlotte. We had guys who had to pit for some reason. They were short on gas. They came out with fresh tires, and someone got run over because it was about a 2.5, 3 second difference of speed. And that all comes from corner speed. I think I saw someone pitting, and it is Michael Amato will be the first one down pit road here on lap 41. Andrew Rich will come down with him. Alexander Rowe coming down. TJ Hanley. These are the 4 we will most likely see in the top 5 when we complete the cycle. Back to Shearer. Will he come down this time? Shearer's going to stay out. Gardner will pit, though. Shows Johnny Gardner headlines Group 2. Matthew McIntyre. Zach Rogers. Curtis. Shearer's still in the lead here on lap 43. It might actually be almost a 25-lap run after the third and final pit stop. Shearer continues to stay out, and this is what I'm worried about. Seth Cole stays out. Oskin stays out. Alves will be the first of Group 3. We're seeing massive strategy here. Sorlin's going to come down in Group 3. This is what I'm worried about. We might get an accident now. Everyone who's pit is about 4.5 seconds faster than the leaders. That's insane to think about. Shearer's going to be really digging through the field here after this is over. Actually, I think Eli Brighton and Riggleman were the first group, as they are passing the leaders there. So Seth Cole will come down this time with Shearer. Shelley's coming down. It's Zach Flickinger. All right, we'll be back when everything's cycled out. We're back, and our race leader is Michael Amato. He was one of the first ones to come down. Gardner, though, from the second group, is right behind them. Andrew Rich third, Rowe fourth, Hanley fifth, and then there's a big gap to 6, as you can see on our ticker, to Matthew McIntyre. John Arndt has surprisingly jumped into the top 10. Zach Rogers 8th, Curtis 9th, and Jessica Shelton sits in 10th. And this is the crazy thing I knew was going to happen is we've got cars laps down from guys who stayed out so long. Cody Hagan, Philip Parker, Alex Ferrante are laps down because they stayed out so long. Let's look at the chase picture. James Shelley has fallen to 34th with his choice of strategy. Deaver is 30th, Sorlin 29th. It's a battle for the lead. There it is. Johnny Gardner is going for the race lead right here, right now. Believe he led it at the line. Indeed he did. New race leader Johnny Gardner in the 32. Let's see, Seth Cole's 17th. We know Seth stayed out, one of the longest to stay out. And then top 10, Curtis in 9th, Rich in 3rd, and Gardner in 1st. Was that everyone? I think I forgot some. I forgot William Brock. Where's the 21 car? 27th, okay. But there will be passing everywhere on this racetrack because I think we had like 5 or 6 groups on that first cycle alone. Amato is going to do nothing but plummet here. Rich is 3rd. There's Rowan 4th. Hanley 5th. See, up to the top 5 has the last place Alex Ferranti a lap down. Ferranti is motoring though. There's McIntyre in 6th. Arndt, Rogers, Curtis. Kev Shearer's made his way up to 10th. Shearer was one of the last guys to pit. He's 11 seconds back. That's how much time Kev Shearer lost. And I'm almost wondering if you extend it 5 laps on every run, instead of pitting on lap 41 and you pit on lap 46. I mean, everyone has to pit 3 times no matter what, but I think it's just a gamble of someone getting run over to bring out a caution, and you're still on the racetrack when it happens. So Alves is 11th, Osborne 12th, there's Deanna Jones. Seth Cole and Zachary Fitzwater both going by Jessica Shelton. That was for 16th for Seth Cole. Now he's looking for 15th on Fitzwater. So the only 2 chase drivers to lead laps today is Gardner 3rd and Seth Cole 4th. Right now Rich is doing very well in regards to who he needs to catch. Seth Cole and Gardner are doing better than him, or well, Gardner is. But Deaver and Sorlin are not doing the best. Let's see if we can find them. There's Brock. William Brock's 25th. Sorlin's down to 29th and Deaver is 30th. So the 2 guys who had good runs at Texas last week not having good runs here tonight. And that could be dangerous for them. Sorlin's making a move on Nate Rogers for 28th. They were some of the last guys to pit, and they were up near the front. Well, Sorlin was. I don't really know where Deaver was. I think Deaver was still in the back. As James Qualls has been put a lap down by Johnny Gardner. Meanwhile, Cody Hagan and Philip Parker have been racing towards the front. You can see they are 5/6 tenths faster than Gardner a lap. Amato still second. There's Ferranti. We just saw a few laps ago. It was right behind TJ Hanley in 5th. Look at this. He's about to pass 2nd place Michael Amato, who is being slowly caught by 3rd place Andrew Rich. Rich looking for those extra 2 points if he can get by Amato. Let's look at Michael Amato's season here. You know, he hasn't won a race, but he is the top non-chase driver in the season, 3 points over Zachary Fitzwater Sr., who's won 2 races. Amato, 7 top 5s, 9 top 10s, no poles to show on his season. He came close at Pikes Peak. He showed speed at another track during the chase, and now he's showing speed here today at a track he's won at as he falls to 3rd on Andrew Rich. But Amato is going for the shortstop strategy, which could be the winning call. We're seeing people extend their runs 3-4 laps. That's great in the term of long runs, guys, but the big thing to look at is this. The last run from the 3rd pit stop will be the shortest of the race. Now, Amato got caught pretty quickly by Johnny Gardner. But if Gardner keeps extending how long he stays out and Amato can get some good clean laps with his fresh tires, Amato could very well be the winner of this race. It could be also Alexander Rowe, Andrew Rich, or TJ Hanley, who all these 4 right here in this picture pit first. They were the first ones to pit. Actually, I believe they were. I think Eli Bright and Riggleman either pit the lap before them or the lap with them. But Amato seems to have shredded his tires a little more than his fellow pit goers. We'll see where this leads him. The rest of the top 10 remains the same. Shearer has caught is really catching Gardner. You can see down to 9.7 seconds. Austin Alves sits behind him in 11th, also racing towards the front. Seth Cole now up to 14th. We've got passing everywhere due to this tire strategy. Deaver still 29th, Sorlin still 27th, Brock's 25th. But this strategy worked out really good for TJ Hanley, who was just sitting outside the top 10. He's been riding in 5th this whole run. Here's the big thing to look at. If you can gain spots and you keep the spots you gained before you pit on the same early pit strategy again, you will benefit. If the long run benefits you though, that's great, but the big thing to look at is this, is these drivers will need something like what happened at Auto Club earlier this season to happen. Peter Sands had the freshest tires on the racetrack. Everyone pit, caution came out, there was about 15 laps to go. Sands restarted 18th, arguably had the car to win due to his fresh tires. He got outlasted, he still came away with a top 5. If everyone pits on the 3rd cycle and we get a caution with 20 to go, you're going to want to watch this 38 car. See the gap close. He's not gaining a lot, surprisingly, on Johnny Gardner. I don't know if Gardner's running really, really hard or if Shearer is just saving his equipment like he did on the first run. The lead for Gardner, though, now over Rich is 3.2 seconds. Amato has fallen to 5th. So Hanley now up to 4th, gaining 2 points. That is very valuable for him since he is 42 back on Seth Cole entering this race. Shearer now gained a lot that lap, 3/10 on Gardner that lap. But they are about 15 laps away from the next cycle of pit stops, and he is still on the losing stick right now. This is for 9th place on DJ Curtis. Shearer will complete the pass for 9th. Alves will most likely follow for 10th, a ground teammate DJ Curtis. About Zach Rogers, a lone race winner from 2017, running 8th here tonight. Shearer is all over his bumper. He's about to pass him for 8th. John Arndt, we've barely talked about this season. He's in 7th. Arndt sits 32nd in points coming into the race tonight. Could be looking at another top 10. He went a long amount of time in the season without a top 10, and he's racked up 1 top 5 and 3 top 10s since getting that first top 10. Or 1 top 5, 2 top 10s, technically. But top 5, 3 top 10s on the season. If this whole short strategy works for him, he could end up with another one. Seth Cole has found his way up to 12th. Not seeing any other chase drivers in this picture right there. Sorlin's up to 24th. Deaver has gone nowhere. Now Matthew McIntyre is about to catch Michael Amato. It only took 30 laps. Remember, that's a huge thing to look at. It took 30 laps. You might ask why that's important. I'll tell you why it's important, because I've been saying it for the last 5 minutes. The last run will be under 30 laps. Or at 30 laps. So if you are just catching a guy who pit 3-4 laps before you, that is insane. And Kev Shearer, by the way, is tearing through this field. He is just past John Arndt for 7th. And this is the kind of thing you're going to see at the end of the last run. Shearer will probably not win this race. I don't see how you gain 7.5 seconds within 10 laps. So Shearer will end up with a good finish. He's showing good speed. I think if he had pit on the same strategy as his owner, teammate Johnny Gardner, he might have had a shot at this race. But right now it's down to Rich and Gardner. Rich has done a good job not letting Gardner pull away too much. So McIntyre is looking to pass Amato here. That's for 5th. Amato will yield. He'll give up 6th place too. Amato will most likely start dropping a ways back. Here comes Seth Cole. Seth Cole has made it by Austin Alves. Seth Cole up to 8th. So Shearer and Seth Cole are flying through the field. Alves is right there too. Now I see Alex Gray moving up as well. And Andrew Rich is pitting now on lap 77. Are we taking short pitting to a whole new level? They didn't even go 40 laps. Curtis is coming down too. Amato is as well. And Rich was gaining time on Johnny Gardner. If everyone starts pitting and following, we might just see a long enough run. I don't know if it was lap traffic getting in Gardner's way or what. Gardner's going to stay out. TJ Hanley's pitting. You can see him dropping off the scoring monitor. So we've got different. They're pitting earlier than they did the first time. Gardner's still staying out though now. He's lost 2 laps on Andrew Rich. And this is the strategy where you stay out as long as you can because you're hoping guys with fresh tires come out and they run people over and cause a caution. That's what these guys are hoping for right now. If this race was 99 laps, Andrew Rich would win this race. And Rich has done it 2 times already here in the playoffs. He won Pikes Peak to open, and then he won at Atlanta when he kind of needed to. And now he's trying to avoid the mayhem that is Pensacola. Gardner still staying out. Here comes Deanna Jones out of pit road. Let's watch this. Look how much she just drove away from Johnny Gardner. Gardner's still staying out. Rowe has stayed out. Shearer has stayed out. Seth Cole has stayed out. William Brock is down pit road now. So some drivers looking to maybe short pit for tires, while others are going the whole run for fuel. If a caution came out, Andrew Rich would be pretty screwed. I think Gardner's coming down this time. Yes, no, yes, no. Someone else is diving down pit road though. Up there's Peter Sands, Jessica Shelton. The 20 is one of the last to pit, along with the 27. Not a lot of drivers chose to short pit here. Shearer and Seth Cole are definitely racing towards Johnny Gardner's back bumper right now, and Gardner's coming in pit road right now. Here on lap 83, Gardner will make his move down pit road. Rich just drove right around Shearer and Seth Cole as Shearer and Seth race for the lead in the midst of guys on way fresh. Look at that. That is 3 seconds, 4 seconds of speed right there. Look at that as an accident waiting to happen. DJ Hanley just about sideswiped Kev Shearer right there. We're on lap 84. Look at Peter Sands coming up on the bottom. Wow. More drivers coming down pit road. Sorlin has stayed out this amount of time too. He's up to 10th. Alex Gray has made it by McIntyre as Alves and Zach Rogers have jumped down pit road. I think Shearer's going to pit first. Here comes Kev Shearer. Seth Cole will stay out. Holy crap, they were just about 3 wide there. Look at these guys running up on Seth Cole. So Seth Cole gets the lead again. Oh, this is dangerous, man. This is dangerous. This 4 seconds of fall off the fresh rubber is very dangerous. Alex Gray, Matthew McIntyre, these are the last three to pit. And they're finally going to wheel. Look at Alexander Rowe coming up. Whew, they almost ran Seth Cole over. I don't even think the 95 got down pit road. Where's the 3? No, these guys are racing for the lead here still on lap 87, man. This is what could be happening at the end of this race if fuel mileage comes into play somehow. Alex Gray will pit this time, though. McIntyre's trying to pit too. Look at the mayhem that is right here. Look at this craziness. Everyone finally pits, so we're going to take a break and hope that there's no caution when we come back. Cycle has pretty much completed. We weren't away that long. Rich is your race leader, and here's the crazy thing. Kev Shear is a lap down in 17th place. That is what happens when you stay out that long. Andrew Rich had already caught up to Gray and McIntyre. That's how long they had stayed out. 11 laps? 10 laps, guys. Think about it. 10 laps. 4 seconds. That's 40 seconds. That's almost 2 whole laps. Rich had already unlapped himself and caught the leaders before either of them got to lead a lap. So Hanley is up here in second. Hanley is really benefiting from this strategy right now. There is an 8-second gap between him and Alexander Rowe. Granted, though, those guys pit 4 laps later. So they will be catching the whole run. Hanley and Rich just have to focus on their race. Everybody around them is on fresh tires. Curtis is 4th, Arndt is 5th, Gardner is 6th, as you can see on the monitor. Amato is 7th. Amato also pit with these guys, I thought. For some reason, he's 14 seconds back. So that is curious to look at, because I'm pretty sure Amato pit with these guys. He must have had some kind of trouble. I don't know. I don't get that. I don't get how you pit and you're not right here with these guys. John Nunn's in the top 10. Hanley's doing a good job keeping up with Rich. He's just got to not let himself get past here. Even if he does, Rich will get past eventually. Let's see where everyone else lined up. Shear has already made his way back up to 14th, but he is 23 seconds back. A lot of people will be unlapping themselves on Andrew Rich here. Let's see. Seth Cole down to 24th. Yep. He stayed out the longest. Sorlin 28th. Also stayed out a good time. Deaver 30th. William Brock is... Where's William Brock? Where's the 21? Oh, 21 is 12th. Okay, he must have short pit too. There's nobody down here though, right? Nope, not seeing anybody. The lowest one is Cole Deaver in 30th. Alright, so Hanley just got passed by Zach Rogers, who's racing up towards his teammate, Andrew Rich, who's in the fight for his 8th win on the season. So Rich lets teammate Zach Rogers by with ease. Don't even think he lost any time on Hanley from that. About a 10th.5, not much. So Rich has won at Texas, Pig Stadium, Darlington, Pikes Peak, Atlanta. That's 5 wins at Speedways of his 7. The other 2 were at the Dodge Motordrome, Short Track, and Daytona 500. That was a super speedway. So Rich is just like Johnny Gardner. They're the 2 Speedway Masters. They both got 5 wins at Speedways. They both want to be the first to hit Tier 3 for 6 wins at a track. However, the whole category thing is being expanded for 2019, as we will have another 36 races, and I don't think anyone wants to see someone win 13 races in a season. But what a season for Andrew Rich. You know, I can't stop talking about it. No wins in 2017. I think the closest he came was Indy, which, by the way, he finished runner-up in again in 2018. Why does that keep happening? As Hanley has now dropped 2 seconds. I think that's the lap cars talking. Rowe has caught up now 7 seconds. Gardner's 8.8 back last time by. And here's where Rich will start losing time. He's got to start yielding to the lap down cars who are on way fresher tires. 58 laps to go though, so that's the big question here is, will your third pit stop leave you enough time to make it to the end? Because we saw Rich pit so early. He pit on lap 77. You go 40 laps from lap 77, you're only at lap 117. And that means you have to go a whole nother 40 laps. So I'm curious if this is a strategy, if pitting early on the second stop to have that distance be there when you pit normal again, 40 laps from lap 77, which, by the way, we're 25 laps past now. There's Seth Cole. Seth Cole's having a tough time dealing with this. Yeah, Rich is really losing time right now. Look at all these cars unlapping themselves. That let Hanley really shoot up the distance. Johnny Gardner, Alexander Rowe did the same thing. Rich was just stuck there. He lost a lot of time. Hanley might make a move for the lead here. He's not. Andrew Rich is going to pit already. Unbelievable. He went 26 laps on his tires. I do not understand this. He didn't even go 30 laps. Hanley's your new race leader, and he's the 4th chaser to lead a lap tonight. That is insane. I cannot believe I just saw that happen. Rich must know that going 40 laps on his last run was not going to work, so he's short pitting even sooner this time. He'll gain even more time. But he has to make an extra pit stop now because he just went to pit for the 3rd time. Everybody else, except maybe TJ Hanley, will have to pit one more time this race. So Rich just had to basically gave himself another pit stop. I'm wondering if they've got a fueling issue like they did at Richmond earlier this year. Gardner has made his way by Rowe. He's right here behind Jackson, who's unlapping himself. Hanley got a needed bonus point though, but the lead will return to the 32 of Johnny Gardner. So now let's look at Andrew Rich. Rich probably only lost, no, he lost 2 laps. But now Rich is the fastest car on track. He's got to make it worth his while, though. Look at this. This is insane. Look at how fast he's going. He's just got to let himself not get held up. If he gets held up, he's wasting those fresh tires. So now Gardner, though, with a huge lead. I think Alexander Rowe came down pit road too. For all I know, everyone else is going to pit before 45 laps are left, and everyone is going to be pitting again. I'm guessing the stratagem is changing mid-race. It looked like from what we saw, yeah, everyone's pitting early again. Everyone's pitting even earlier. I don't know if these guys are just not getting enough fuel in their cars, or what the case is, or if just seeing Rich pit so early is making everyone else want to pit now. But to see this happen means that we will most likely see everyone pit a 4th time. A lot of people are coming down pit road. So Andrew Rich might have really played everyone into his hand right here. Gardner is still staying out. Remember, Gardner pit around lap 82. He's got another 10 full laps to go. This could be interesting because if Gardner goes all the way to lap 122 and pits from there, he can make it to the end of the race. And he'll probably be two or three laps down, but he will be unlapping himself, and then everyone will pit again, and then we'll see where he sits. But it looks like tires are the big game here because the track is literally eating the Goodyear rubber here. Gardner's still only at 2 seconds of fall off right now. Hanley is now 5 seconds behind him. And I'm surprised Hanley hasn't pit. I'm surprised other people who pit after Hanley on the last set of stops have already pit. Look, DJ Curtis already went down pit road. This is probably the craziest playoff race I've seen in a while. It's been 30 laps since Gardner pit. I really don't see a reason for Gardner to pit, though. Like, he pit on lap 82. But we're closing in on the end of this thing. This has been pretty insane, though, I gotta say. I also realized that I never turned my mic back down, so I apologize if I have been burning your eardrums. Look at this, Brock is already pit. Okay, Hanley, I think finally went down pit road. Yep, I'm seeing that right. Swolen's back in the top 10. Is Rich the highest of the guys who have already pit? He has not unlapped himself yet. He actually might not be. I think Andrew Rich might have pit too soon. Yep, Amato already pit. Amato has already pit, and there is the 53 car. Where is he? There he is. Look, he is not benefiting. Alexander Rowe, he's a full lap ahead of him. Andrew Rich must have some kind of problem because it appears that he lost time from short pitting. That is unbelievable. That is going to be devastating for Rich. He is going to have to go into Pensacola next week and get a lot of luck. For the man who won 7 times this season, the strategy called by the crew chief is disastrous. He pit way too early. He should have waited 10 more laps, to be honest. Because he has shown that he is still 2 laps down. I'm wondering if there was maybe some pit road issues, but Alexander Rowe pit from behind Johnny Gardner 5 laps later and is a lap to the good. Rich is still gaining time here, but he's a lap behind everybody. It's very, very disappointing to see for this team. They've won so many races this season, and they've made one really bad strategy call here today. And it's cost them. You can see Rich still closing up, but he's already slower than Alexander Rowe. Rich will finally get himself back to 1 down, but Rowe just unlapped himself. 3/10 faster than the 53 car. So Rich is now only 1 lap behind, but Rowe is already back on the lead lap. So Gardner is definitely looking to just do this 3-stop strategy. Rich will have to pit again, and he'll lose everything. something bad must be wrong on that car. They must have had to do some kind of repair when they pit, because I don't understand why they are still another whole lap behind. If there was a penalty involved, there must have been some kind of penalty or repair being done to the 53 of Andrew Rich, because I don't understand how he lost all that time. So Gardner will come down here on lap 122 like we expected him to. Seth Cole will now become the race leader. In fact, Seth Cole is actually pitting a couple laps earlier than he did last time, and that gives the lead to Zach Rogers. So Zach Rogers will get to lead a lap tonight. And we will not go to another commercial break. We will be here for the rest of this race as all this crazy strategy plays out. We know that Gray and McIntyre stayed out the longest last cycle. Here comes Zach Rogers now. Oskin will pit. Rowe is already up to 4th. Alexander Rowe is already up to 4th. Do you guys understand that? He is the race leader and he already pit. I'm almost wondering now, Rowe has not passed Andrew Rich. I'm almost wondering right now if Rowe took rights or lefts only with a bunch of other guys, because I have no idea how the 41 car is leading this race right now. Alex Gray is not second. Yep, there it is. TJ Hanley's in second now. I'm gonna guess that this car took 2 tires or something. The 53 of Rich, still a lap down, but he's 21st on the monitor, so that's not terrible. Actually, he's 18th on the monitor now. Hanley is second, Arndt third, Osborne fourth, Curtis fifth, Brock 7th. Bro is already almost 2 seconds slower though. But him, Rich, and a lot of guys will still need to pit one more time. I think Johnny Gardner's got this race in the bag. He's 19 seconds back. He's the highest of everyone who can make it on gas. Johnny Gardner, I think, is going to win this race. Unless we get some kind of caution. And Andrew Rich is now falling. He will not be able to unlap himself here. But he sits 16th. But something must have happened, because I feel like he should be the leader right now. Strategy gone wrong for the 53 team. Well, they should be second right now probably if they weren't 1 lap behind for some bizarre reason. They lost 23 seconds somewhere, which honestly sounds like either a 15-second penalty or something that had to get fixed. But Hanley is roaring towards Alexander Rowe right now. Rich pit about 22 laps ago, 23 laps ago now for him. We should expect him down any moment. I mean, he kept pitting earlier. He pit 35 laps after his first stop, and then he pit 25 laps after his first stop, so I'm still wondering if it was a fueling issue. TJ Hanley, though, racing towards him. Parker behind, that would be for position. I'm not 100% certain if Hanley can make it to the end on gas. If he can, he's got 10 seconds on Johnny Gardner. Hanley might be the one to watch. I think it's close. I think it's close for this 47 team. But Rich is now starting to plummet once more. Yep, Hanley will catch Alexander Rowe soon. I really feel like Rowe probably did a 2-tire call, but I'm not 100 on that. Seth Cole is still 1 lap down. Now he sits 20th. Cody Hagan is really far back. Rich is now really slow. Sorlin 21st. So Sorlin's been gaining some spots over this last bout of pit stops. You know, look at William Brock, dude's in 7th. Curtis is 8th. Gardner has made his way up to 5th now, though. Let's see, where is he? There's 3rd place. Gardner already got by Arndt in 4th, and now he's going by for 3rd on Osborne. So Gardner 1 position away from who will soon be race leader TJ Hanley. And he's looking on the inside of Rowe right now. Gardner's got some of the freshest tires on the racetrack, and there's the move by Hanley. And that'll shuffle Rowe back 3 wide on the top into turn 1. Gardner is really closing the distance, though. I think Gardner's got a really good shot to win this race, and TJ Hanley is going to pit. He can't make it. New race leader will be the 32 of Johnny Gardner. Has Andrew Rich pit already? Yes, there he is on pit road. Eli Bright, so Hanley has to give it all up. 23 laps of action left. 22 actually. We'll see. They're going to be about a 1.5 seconds faster than Gardner a lap if they can get by the slower cars the right way. That actually gave the lead back to Alexander Rowe. And Gardner just cut that distance in half. And Rowe will now come down pit road for his last pit stop. But Gardner, we should not expect to pit. Gardner's tires are still relatively new. That's 17 laps of wear, of use. But you know, Gardner has no reason to pit. He knows he can make it on fuel. If they can't, though, then he will not win this race. Rich will not win this race, though, either, for whatever error they had on pit stop number 3. Austin Owls is up to 2nd place now. Gardner giving room to Ferranti on the bottom. We haven't really seen much of Kev Shearer. And Shearer might have had a similar issue. He is 30th a lap down, unless Shearer has already pit, and that doesn't seem to be the case judging from his lap time. So I'm wondering if some drivers have had some miscues on pit road, because Shearer appears to be one of those drivers. William Brock has already pit for the 4th time today. He just unlapped himself a lap on Gardner. And we're seeing a lot of people still pit here in this race. Seth Cole's made his way up to 8th. Sorlin's up to 5th. Those two should also be able to make it to the end. Zach Rogers was one of the last guys to pit, but he is 20 seconds behind race leader Johnny Gardner. Caution-free race, though, here tonight. Austin Owls actually is losing time. No one else is close at all. There's only 12 cars on the lead lap. Deaver 13th place right now as he continues to stay out. John Nunn just drove by him. Rich is back down to 39th. Not what he needs at all from tonight. Gardner could be locking himself in to the round of 4 if he can just win this race. It's 14 laps to go this time at the line. And unless they're short on fuel, he's got it locked up. Quentin Moore, teammate of Gardner, running 3rd right now. Fitzwater running 8th. Shear has made his way up to 19th. Shear was one of the last to pit on his cycle as well. Something is also must be amiss on his car. Gardner's got a bumper full of cars on fresher tires, and oh, is he gonna pit? Johnny Gardner can't make it to the end. He's pitting here on lap 146. Unbelievable. They went 40 laps every run up to this point. And now, after only going 24 laps, Gardner comes to pit road. Wow. Unbelievable. Maybe they thought they were losing too much time to everyone else who pit, such as TJ Hanley. Maybe their math said Hanley's going to catch you. I don't see how he could have, but that gave the lead to Austin Alves. Now Alves is continuing to plummet. There's Alexander Rowe, who's 19th. Rich has made his way back up to 35th. Curtis has pit as well. He's at the bottom. Brock pit. We saw that. Gardner now falls outside the top 20. That put a bunch of cars back on the lead lap. Devers in 11th. Hanley's in 12th. And I'm pretty sure Hanley's the top gun on fresh rubber. But it depends if Austin Alves has to pit now for fuel. 9 to go. I've not seen a sign of anyone else having to pit. Alves won all the way back at Kansas. Made the playoffs, got eliminated early. Was it the round of 16 or the round of 12? I think it was the round of 16 that he got eliminated from early. 12-second lead over Zach Rogers right now. There's Gardner in the distance. Look at Gardner up on the top. Gardner sits 20th place right now. He just got by Shelley for 19th. So Gardner is still looking at maybe a decent point stay. Now he's racing side by side behind Austin Alves, who's almost getting turned by teammate Philip Parker. Gardner's losing a lot of time right now. Alves still just riding around. He knows he's got a lot of time. They're telling him save, save, save. Seth Cole sits in 5th place. Good run for the 42 team. Hanley in 8th, Sorlin 9th. Hanley's making his way. Oh, we got a wreck! Osborne just got spun by William Brock. No caution! No caution flag. Lights are off on the pace car. Oh my goodness. We were probably about to have a... would we have made it? It would have been 4 to go when Alves hit the line. I do not think we would have had a restart. That almost ended the race. Alves is still your leader, 10 seconds now over Zach Rogers. Hanley up the 6th. Three to go now at the line this time around. There are drivers on worn tires. There are drivers on new tires. Everyone's flying. Everyone's dropping. 3 to go for Austin Alves. Leads under 10 seconds now. Kev Shear has pit again. He's 41st. Not what the 38 team wanted. They looked like they were the fastest at the beginning. Alves is still yet to show signs of needing to pit. Very slow though as he hits 2 to go. Hanley's up to 4th place right now. That's 2 more points. If you can get to Oskin and Rogers, that'll be another 5. Oh, he's at Oskin. He's going to get 3rd for sure, I think. Alves showing no sign of having to come down pit road. White flag is out for the 16 team of Austin Alves. Johnny Gardner, I don't get it, man. I don't get that team. They had to pit for some reason. He's 13th still, though, on the freaking running order. But it doesn't matter. Austin Alves has played this perfectly. On fuel, he will get his 2nd win of 2018 tonight at Rockingham. And Pensacola could come down to points entirely to decide the Final 4. Hanley gets 2nd place, 5.7 seconds back. If this race was another 5 laps longer, TJ Hanley probably would have won. But it'll be Austin Alves getting his 2nd win of 2018. Zach Rogers 3rd, Oskin 4th. Rowe ends up in 5th. Moore 6th. Seth Cole 7th. Gardner rebounded to 8th on his fresh tires. Ferranti with a top 10 in 9th. And Fitzwater rounds out the top 10. So there's the rest of your finishing results. Deaver ends up 14th. Brock 15th. Sorlin 16th. So those 3 all really close. We know that Deaver was in the good coming in, and so was Sorlin. Brock was not, so Brock really not gaining anything there. Hanley gained a good chunk on those 2. However, Seth Cole and Gardner were the main ones of focus. Seth Cole ended up 7th and Gardner ended up 8th. So Hanley does get a great finish of 2nd place, but he did not gain a lot of points. Curtis ends up 20th. And Andrew Rich ended up 36th. If Hanley gained points on anyone, if anyone gained points on anyone, it was on the 53 car tonight. Something amiss with their strategy. Sandfer finished the race 2 laps down. Wow. Well, that is it from tonight at Rockingham. This track has 2 dates next year, and it will probably be the craziest races we see all season long. I can't wait. This track, Texas, Atlanta, it's going to be insane. I will see you guys next week for Pensacola. We will decide the Final 4, as I just about choked on air right there. We will decide the Final 4 next week. It's all points right now, unless one of those guys wins the race next week. It'll still be points for 3 drivers, though, at least. I will see you guys next week at Pensacola. This has been an hour, 15-minute plus race, so this video will take a while to upload. I will see you guys next time.